Well, I was just kidding last week about having the brand new head coach of the national team, and what do you know? We actually have him on the show tonight. So, of course, without further ado, Coach Thomas Dooley of the national team of the Philippine Azkals. He's with us, and he said he was going to answer every question. Yes, although he said no is an answer. but anyway, so of course we've been waiting for this for quite some time. So guys, fire away. I suppose you guys have questions. Sige, ikaw first.
Affected nata nung nangyari. Anyway. So, Coach, this is our first question. So far, how does it feels like to coach the national team? 2 games already against Malaysia and Azerbaijan. Although it didn't warrant a win for us, it generated a lot of positive outputs from the fans. What are your thoughts on that?
First, thank you so much for having me here. So it's an honor for me to be in your show. I saw that in Germany and the US. A couple of months ago, I saw your show, and I didn't know that I'm here one day. I'm glad to be back on your show. Anyhow, yeah, it was 2 games. I was very impressed. Not so during the game, more so after the game when I watched the tape. So I watched the 2 games already. The first one against Malaysia was a little bit in different thoughts during the game. But when I saw the tape and I saw the mistakes that we did, there was like individual mistakes that it's easy to teach or to talk to the players that they don't make the mistake again. And it wasn't that we were totally out of position or totally misunderstanding the game. Excuse me. But when I saw the game and I saw how calm we played, we never really panicked, and that the player did actually everything what we talked about before the game, how we want to play. Would like to see that everybody has fun. I would like to see that the player wants the ball, and obviously you want to keep the ball on the ground because I love soccer and I love to play that game. I don't want to chase somebody because you can see when the goalkeeper is kicking the ball up front. 95% of the time the ball is gone, and what do? You have to chase. Now you have to run after the ball again, trying to win the balls, maybe start playing, maybe kick the ball again, another 20-30 yards, and chasing again. So for me it was like, I saw the players in those games before, and I could actually see that the players are technically pretty good. So and I just want to get them involved in a real game, and that they understand the way they want to play, keep on the ground, asking for the ball, and keep moving the ball. So, and I saw that in both games. Malaysia was like we created some chances, and we had a couple issues where we didn't tactically we didn't do the right thing, individual players. So and then against Azerbaijan, there was a second test against a much stronger team. I want to see how we can play against them. So like I said before, the score is not important for me in those 2 games until the Challenge Cup. It's more so how does a player, act to what we really want to do. And we did those mistakes and against Azerbaijan, the ones that we did against Malaysia. That means it speaks a lot for the players, because we talked about it once or twice, and they accepted it, or they talked about it, they thought about it, and they actually made it happen that we didn't make those mistakes again. But again, we get to play against a team. They are much taller, much stronger, much faster. They put pressure on us. We never panicked. Again, that speaks for the team again. And it was like a situation that we had in the first 10-15 minutes when they pushed everybody forward, that we could play out of the bag very easily. And suddenly you could see on their faces that, oh, this is something different, so now we have to drop back a little bit because otherwise it's too dangerous. Now they changed their game against us because we could play. So in both games I'm very, very happy with the way we played. We didn't win the game. That wasn't, obviously I want to win every game. But overall I was very happy, and the next task is we have to score goals and we have to win a game.
Yes. Actually, Coach, to be fair, and you were saying this earlier, I think most of us, if not everyone who follows the national team, actually did not have any concerns or issues with the actual scoreline. In fact, we were even expecting, this is strong. So regardless of any tactical changes on our end, Azerbaijan also being from UEFA, I think we were also thinking, oh, this is gonna be a blowout regardless. But everyone was just saying this is actually a good result for the team. Having said that, coach, did once you saw, I understand that when you came in, you hit the ground running right away, and I understand you just saw some tapes, was it, of the team right at the start. How did you know how all these pieces would fall into place, and who to place where, what tactical changes to make, regardless of who we will be up against?
Yeah, I mean, the first is obviously I'm looking at the players, what kind of a skill that they have. And there were some of them, they are technically very good. They need to be in a position when they have the ball. Just talking about Phil. Phil is maybe a great center forward, but he is way too good that he gets only every 5 minutes the ball. He needs to get the ball constantly. So he needs to be in a position where he can actually create. He has a good vision, he has a great technique, he can shield the ball, he wants the ball. So, and I could see that he actually, when he played, that he liked it. So I had a conversation with him too, talking about, I want to find out where you like it. Every single player, do you like to play left? Do you like to play right? Because I don't know them, I cannot evaluate everybody to 100%, so I need some feedback from them. So, and that's how I was looking at the players. Same as in the back, when I saw, and everybody was saying, oh, our back is maybe a little bit too old, and maybe we are weak and all that stuff. I mean, when Rob came and then when Huani came in the first training sessions that we did, I walked over to Huani and said, I'm glad that you play like you play right now. Because I didn't know him very well. So then everybody's saying like this, if you play like this is incredible. And that's perfect. So when you look at we analyzed the game against Azerbaijan. And I mean, analyzing meaning every single touch of every single player on the field in every situation. So we know everything. So our defense was absolutely fantastic. You have Rob, who make only 5 mistakes. He lost the ball 5 times. One maybe 6, 7 times. For a defender, this is not a lot. So, and you see the left side in Jeffrey and Simone. They had so much. Jeffrey was the second most touches, with 77 touches, and he lost it only 20, 21 times. That's as a defender, you play like him, it's great. And you can go through every single player, so you really can see that the players that we kind of picked and the players we're putting in the right position is something that you have to know the player a little bit. You have to find out what kind of a skill that they have. Simone can play in the center, he can play in the outside. Anton, you can play in the center, he can play in the outside. So some of the players, like James too, was thinking about, he could be one who plays maybe right back. It's always the best. No, but it's always he's a great soccer player. He likes to run. He likes to go forward. He likes to cross the balls. He likes to score.
That's his old position.
I mean, this is something
Right
that you were looking from a defender.
Right.
Not the center backs. Maybe in the future we can do that in the center too. But at the moment, I want players on the outside who are going forward. First thing is always defense, but you have to find out in those little training sessions we do. You have to look at the player and have to see, okay, what does he do? Does he want the ball? Is he going? Does he feel comfortable? And then when you see all those things, and you put them in a spot what you think it may be good for him. There are some players that may be playing on the wrong side. Then I have to find out maybe this is maybe better for you to play here. Give me a couple more months, a couple more days.
Coach, you debuted like 5 players in your last 2 games. Who among the 5 impressed you the most?
It's a tough one. No, it's not a tough one. I mean, I expected from everyone that he has fun, that he works hard, and that he tries to give his best. And everybody did the same thing. Some a little bit better than the other. Some played a little, like Simone played 2 games. So where Kenny played only in one game, like for 20, 30 minutes. So you just you cannot say that how they impressed me. It's more like,
surprise.
The thing is also surprise too, because I was telling the players too, if you're on the bench and you're coming in, you have to be better than the one that I'm taking out.
Yes.
Otherwise, why should I bring you in? So if somebody's playing great, I'm not taking you out. Maybe I take you out in front of 40,000 people that give you applause from the fans. But in the end, right now everybody gets a chance to play. But I could see that we are not losing any any skill or any level when the players coming in. There's maybe like against Malaysia when they're coming in, they're a little bit unorganized,
Yes.
and then the other team take advantage of it.
Yes.
But it also, we wouldn't do that in a real game. When you say, okay, that's important. You cannot switch like 4 or 5 players at one time, and the midfield players that everything is getting unorganized. So you can't do that. Those games, like I said, the score is not important for me right now. The score it's important in Challenge Cup.
Right.
There's no question about that. We want to win it.
Yes.
That's what we have to win it. We want to win it, and that's why I want to put the pressure on the players too. The next game we have to win. We have to score goals.
Right.
Okay, so having said that, there is a next game, which of course we'll talk about later. But in the meantime, of course, do follow us at FTW Sports and please do like Coach Thomas Dooley's Facebook page, Coach Thomas Dooley.